In Japan, an ancient system known as the Lunisolar calendar is still quietly in use today, while the Gregorian calendar remains dominant. The old system survives in traditions such as Aben, the summer festival honoring ancestors. Recently, I noticed that when I stop relying on the Gregorian calendar, the rhythm of the seasons suddenly begins to make sense. As the days grow colder, I realized that the old calendar too marks this as the time when winter deepens. One example is Tanabarter, the festival of stars. It celebrates 3 stars along the Milky Way: Deneb, Altair, and Vega. Vega and Altair are said to be lovers separated by the river of stars, while Deneb, in the constellation of Cygnus, unites them once a year. In ancient Japan, it is highly likely that the calendar once followed what was known as the double spring-autumn theory, under which this day may have been regarded as a second new year, marking a turning point in the cycle of seasons. Under the Gregorian calendar, Tanabarter falls on July 7th, during Japan's rainy season, when the stars are often hidden by clouds. But in the old calendar, it arrives about a month later, around late August in 2025, when the Milky Way spreads clearly across the summer sky. It feels as if the heavens themselves have aligned for their reunion. The Gregorian calendar, centered on the sun, is likely to be astronomically accurate. However, the traditional calendars that were once used in Asia and throughout the world may have been shaped not only by the sun and moon, but also by the subtle movements of the stars and planets. Each region developed its own unique system, adapted to its cultural and astronomical context. Just as Japan had onmyji who observed celestial signs, the ancient Celts had druids who watched the skies to attune human life with cosmic rhythms. In fact, there are records showing that calendar makers such as the onmyji observed the positions of the Big Dipper and the planets. And above all, star-related festivals like Tanabarter itself can be seen as evidence of the close relationship between celestial observation and the calendar. Perhaps ancient people breathed with the universe, sensing its slightest shifts and weaving them into the rhythm of their daily lives. At least, that's how I like to think of it. Could we ever really unify calendars across the world? Think about it. Vegetation, climate, and lifestyles differ everywhere. Naturally, the timing for planting crops will vary. What each culture considers important also differs. Japan's staple is rice, while some countries rely on wheat. And in the southern hemisphere, seasons are the opposite of those in the north. How could the northern way of life be imposed there? The Gregorian calendar can serve as a general guide, and the idea of a common global date is certainly appealing. Yet respecting local calendars is also a way of respecting each land, its seasons, and its ways of life. It may sound exaggerated, but this is about thinking based on respect rather than division or competition. In other words, it may be a sense of gratitude for different cultures living in harmony with the earth. For these reasons, I believe there is great significance in rediscovering ancient calendars and astronomical observation techniques that are still applicable today. This is not merely the romance of gazing at the stars. It is also about reconsidering how we can live in harmony with nature in modern society and reclaim wisdom that allows us to live more authentically. Well, thank you for reading this far. See you again next night under the stars. This has been M Arcturus.